Welcome back, fellow actors and enthusiasts. My name is Sigelelo Vuyeleni, and we welcome you to another thrilling episode of To Be an Actor. And I myself am an actress from South Africa.
Multiple paths, one life, an endless journey of learning, a becoming. Hi, this is Sigelelo Vuyeleni. Welcome to my expression.
If you have not been here before or haven't seen my face, welcome to our channel. We are currently busy with a series called To Be an Actor. You've joined us at the right time. You're never too late because you can always go back to the first episode. It's a journey and take your time with it. If you are a returning subby joining the 1,000 subby gang, we welcome you back to this channel and we're thankful for your existence and presence and engaging in our space with us. So I am going to start with a young story connected to our previous episode of preparing for auditions, right? So I don't know, since this series had started, Usigelelo has had the same hair. Yes, it may have started longer, but now it's a bit shorter because, we're changing and all of that. Because you evolve when something gets old and you find ways to make it look better. Anyway, I am feeling like the hair has sort of overstayed its welcome now. However, because my body is a vessel for telling stories, I am stuck with the hair for a bit longer than I would have liked. The reason behind that is I have had a couple of auditions in the past week, and I am in no space to show up at a potential callback with different hair. Meaning, when you go to auditions or shoot self-tapes, you are sort of put in a position of freeze in your current state. So I want you to know that as you are going to be growing into the space and getting into audition rooms and shooting self-tapes, you are going to find yourselves in positions where you are unable to change your current look because you have not yet known whether you have been chosen for the role or not. And fair enough, you won't really know until you ask or you see the thing on TV or you hear about a shooting taking place, because no one really ever gets back to you and say, okay, you haven't been chosen, unless your agent is that kind and knows who has been taken for the role. So just have that in mind, that there's a lot of times where you won't be in charge of how you look and how you show up in the world outside of your work. And I have a story where this happened to me. I think it was like a month ago where I auditioned for a commercial. One of my best commercial auditions to date. Got there with my natural hair vibes, I looked really cool, eccentric and all. The audition was on a Thursday, a Wednesday, and then Friday I do my hair, as in the hair that I had before I cut it. And the following week, I get an email from my agent saying, you have been shortlisted for the commercial. And I was like, so about that, I've got new hair. And then I sent the new hair. And it wasn't too long when I received an email back saying, we have made it out of the shortlist. We have fallen out of the shortlist. So there's things you can't really do on your own whim. You have to ask before you do them, or at least make sure that it's safe to do so, because it may just cost you an opportunity of a lifetime. And I had been praying about commercials because I've never really done a commercial. So I still look back at that moment and say, okay, I see you, lesson learned. So on to today's episode. Today's episode is navigating the industry as a newcomer. Now, this idea of being a newcomer can be really a thrilling experience or looking forward to of a journey or to a journey, but it can also be quite daunting, right? Because you don't know what to expect. It's a new field altogether and a very competitive one at that. I want you to rest assured that all of us were once newcomers before we found ourselves where we are. And the truth of the matter is, you never really arrive. As we've seen, that actors come and go, and there's different reasons for all of that. So this is to say that you are in a perfect position. You are in a position that you ought to be in the journey. You have to start somewhere. So embrace the newness. Allow it to be a fuel to really get into this industry and, hit the ground running, because we've done a lot of work. This is our 6th episode. We've done a lot of work with you. So hopefully you've seen the other episodes and you are in a space where you feel like you are equipped and you've got tools that you can get into to help you really be in a position of, okay, I'm a newcomer, but I come prepared. I've got an armor on. Do you get me? So the common challenges that a newcomer in the industry gets to face are as follows. You lack experience. Like every other industry, if, for example, you're a graduate, you just got out of matric, you don't have experience. And most probably for us as well in this industry, you also lack professional training. That's a real challenge that I've also spoken about in our previous episodes, that there's a need for you to get some kind of training to help you navigate this journey. Second thing is, you have limited industry connections and networking opportunities because you just arrived, right? You don't know who's who, where to get what, when what is happening, and how you can find yourself in the spaces. Third challenge is uncertainty about how to start or how to progress in the industry. We've also spoken about this as well, right? So if you're finding yourself in this position, you are not alone. The fourth thing is facing rejection and taking criticism while during auditions and casting processes, which is something that you cannot escape, right? Again, these are things we've spoken about in our previous episodes and how to best help you go through them. Because when you are in this position, you must have been equipped, right? Or you must have gone through the processes to help you be equipped for this journey. And the last thing, certainly not the least, is financial instability and the need for you to balance, right? Like finding survival jobs in between the acting opportunities. So it's a real chat to be financially unstable in this industry. So that's one of the biggest challenges, because that also informs how you show up in the spaces, how you move around to the auditions when you get them. So it's important for us to find something in between, because it gets a bit tricky, right? But we're going to have another episode where we unpack this, because it's a very, very hectic thing. Now we need to find strategies, right, to stay motivated and resilient in overcoming the challenges that we've just mentioned. As we've mentioned before, that a structure of support is really, really, it's your lifeline, right? So cultivate a strong system of friends, family, and fellow actors, right, that are on the same journey as you, who understand the challenges of the industry. Now, we'll just talk about this one more time. Training, or finding a training space where there's more people that are in the same journey as you, helps you to sort of have and create this network of people where you can, relate to and have these conversations with. Second thing is, you must set realistic goals for yourself, right? And celebrate the small victories that you get along the way to maintain your motivation. Like, it's such a personal journey, because it's so easy to just, as soon as you open Instagram, you're finding a new post about a new show coming, and you didn't get auditions for it. You didn't get a brief. You didn't know anything about it. And the deep dive into, comparison and self-esteem issues, and it starts just surfacing. So set your goals realistically, because you are not going to make it tomorrow, unfortunately. I recently read someone's caption, and something stuck out for me, and they say, where my overnight success started 9 years ago. Because we tend to think that someone just arrived, oh, you've made it, oh, you're making it, you're doing so great. This person has been at it. So set realistic goals for yourself and celebrate the small victories. Like being able to shoot a monologue and post it on Instagram is a big win. You've gone through a journey of putting yourself out there and also exercising the muscle while you're at it. And you woke up. So I think we need to start just narrowing down our lives and taking it one day at a time so that we can stay sane and we can stay on top of things and really stay motivated. Third thing is, again, embracing rejection as a learning opportunity, because that's exactly what it is. How can I do what you've rejected me for better? Where can I improve? And those things are very important for you to sort of be curious about. Don't beat yourself up when they're saying, okay, cool, you didn't get the role. Sometimes it's okay to ask, how could I have done that better? What was wrong? Or see in your own space what you can do. Because it's a natural part of the industry. You need to be able to deal with it whenever it comes up, because it's going to come up often. And you need to practice self-care. Because this is the sad truth that we are hoping to step forward and change as the industry. But the industry doesn't really care about your well-being. That's the sad thing. It doesn't care how you are so exhausted, having wrapped at 11 p.m. and you're probably getting home at 1 a.m. And at 7, we are hoping to pick you up because set is happening again the next day. So practice self-care. Make sure you find time to yourself. Be intentional with it. Read books, switch off, get away from social media, get away from things that are going to drain your energy. Because also, your body is a vessel. That's how you work. That's your instrument. And if you don't take care of who you are or how you are, it's going to affect how you show up in the spaces where you have to use that instrument and have it excel. And practice mindfulness techniques, right? These are quite helpful, just so you stay in tune with where you are and you are able to navigate and investigate your emotions and where your state of mind is at. Because again, these are things that you work with when you are in the process of the acting. So for yourself as well, work on those, reflect often, and just find stillness. Let there be a connectedness in there that gets to take place, because you move from that. That's your core, that's your center. And the last strategy would be for you to stay focused on your passion for acting and remind yourself of your long-term goals during the challenging times, because that's what needs to keep you going. Again, back to our first episode where we spoke about finding your why or understanding your why. That is the one thing that's going to keep you going, and where you see yourself, because you cannot stop. You can't stop if you're not seeing yourself where you want to be. You haven't reached, and fortunately enough, it keeps moving, right? The mark keeps moving as you grow. So just keep your eyes on the prize. Don't forget about that. Why did you start even, doing this thing? Let that keep you going. And lastly, we are going to talk about practical advice for seeking opportunities. Because we can't just sit and relax. We need to be active members of our own journeys or of our own dreams. We need to be pursuing actively and seeking, for us to eventually get to where we want to be, or get something to happen. Move a bit. Let someone recognize you or see you. Acknowledge that, okay, somebody's working. We see you. And when there's, stars aligning, we got you. So I need you to not only stop at you going to your 6 months training course, your 4 months training course. You must keep investing in the learning of your craft, the improving, the finding a dialect coach for something, the finding an accent coach, a swimming coach, a reading of certain books and scripts, and just constantly workshopping, self-studying to improve your skills, because that's what keeps you on the edge. They need to know that you are always ready for whatever. You know what I'm saying? And when I say whatever, it's obviously in a structured, because I'm not trying to say do things that you're not supposed to do. Okay? Don't compromise yourself in the process, please. Second thing is you must attend these industry events, be seen. So as a newcomer, you may not be wary of these or know where they are. That's why there is Instagram and places that you need to look into, because events are happening every other month. And see, like, be a nuisance to some degree, respectfully, right? DM, email. I just saw that you've got this event coming up. How can I be a part of it? Or are there tickets? Or do you guys have people that are volunteering? Find ways to be seen in these spaces. I remember 2018, I had just finished my 3 months, 4 months program at Active Spaces. Active Spaces was also launching a film festival. Found myself part of that team that was founding that festival. I was part of the inaugural journey of Africa Rising International Film Festival, because I was like, I need to be in these spaces. And let me tell you, the networks that came out of that did not necessarily hire me, but it definitely makes your moving in the industry better, because people are like, oh, Six, I know Six. You know, there's conversations that are happening about you, about your name, because you're constantly putting your best foot forward and are seen in these spaces. So sometimes it may not just be you attending the event, it may be you finding ways of being one that adds value to the event. How can you give of your time in that space so that you can create those networks? Because again, people work with value. What are you bringing to me? You know? So try and see if you can't find yourself in those spaces in different ways. Another thing that we can do is utilize our online spaces. We've also spoken about this. How do you stay motivated? Create, don't wait. Create, don't wait. You know? Please find those scripts, find those monologues online, or write even your own monologues. Improvise your own monologues. I've spoken about this, I've done it as well. And again, most of these things don't necessarily get you the job, but they get the eyes on you to some degree and also help you, because I think essentially the work is for yourself. The work that you're doing now is for you until you get to be able to create work with your counterparts and be seen in the spaces of set or theater space. You know what I'm saying? So utilize your Instagram, your Facebook, your YouTube. Put those things out there. Let them know who you are and what you are capable of. Connect with the people that are in the same field as you. Do a dialogue scene together with someone. These phones, let's start utilizing them for our own benefit. The last thing I would say is volunteer, to local theaters or productions, to student films, because students will be looking for actors. Volunteer and say, I'm here, I can do it. Those are the industry's future. Those are the tomorrow's professionals. Those are tomorrow's DOPs, producers, people that are going to be working with you on set. So if they have worked with you and they know how great you are and how good a person you are to work with, what would make them not consider you for their films or for their stories that they get to create outside of school? So these are also great places for you to network and find people to grow with in the industry. And with all of that, I do sincerely hope that you are going to make the right decisions find yourself in the right spaces, and continuously work on you. Because you need to be good, man. Your wellness and your health and your mental health at that is one of the most important things that you could ever invest in as an actor, because again, this is your instrument. If you're not in a good space, it's reflecting in the work, it's reflecting on your productivity. So create, don't wait. No one is going to come to save you. You having been here, the 6th episode in, is also just an ounce of what you are still meant to do and go through. Execute. Don't just be listening. Take your time to find out more, research more, watch more things, familiarize yourself with who is who in the industry, so that when you randomly bump into someone at a restaurant, you can walk up to them and say, "Hi, how are you? My name is," and I know you from this and that, and I think you're brilliant at what you do. I do this and I would love to. Can I somehow find my way into your set? So it's a journey, and I'm wishing you all the best on it. We are aware that you have received this episode a week later than usual. We have introduced bi-weekly drops now, so as to make sure that when we do give you guys this content, it is of standard and it's quality, and also gives us time to make sure that we are consistent, because we don't want to drop the ball and rob you of your future or how we can contribute to your future. So I hope that didn't take you guys away or sort of move you. And also, again, I am open to doing consultations and having conversations with whatever that needs that. If you need direction, if you need structure, if you need a way forward with a resume or CV as a new actor, we offer those services as well. And we can also lead you to the right people to get your headshots and shoot your monologues or your show reels, right? Because these are things that you're going to need as you navigate the industry. I will be leaving my email down below in the description box, where we can have a conversation and talk about what your needs are and how we can best serve you and meet you at your place of need, right? And once again, I'm so grateful to be on this journey with you guys. The episodes will start evolving and looking differently, tackling different topics. I do think that the idea of to be an actor may have just reached its end. Now we get to expand on that, or sort of, double click and deal with more issues that come up. So expect more content that may not necessarily be to be an actor based, but also how to be in the space as an actor. Thank you so much for joining us on yet another episode of To Be an Actor. If you have not subscribed on this channel and you have made it this far into the video, please do the right thing. Please like, please share, and comment down below what you think of these episodes and what your struggles are as a newcomer in the industry. Would love to hear from you. Would love to have more conversations with you. Also, if there are specific questions that you'd like us to tackle, don't be shy. Would love to know and would love to help. My name is Sigelo, and it's been a pleasure yet again to be sharing such content and information with you guys. See you guys on the next video.